What's up, family? What's up, family? Everybody come on in. What's up? What's up? Alright, so this particular video is going to be a reaction video to the interview that our dear sister Zaza Ali did with Brother Rich, our intelligent brother Rich, here on his platform Black Magic. And let's see here. So Brother Rich did an interview with Sister Zaza Ali, and I think it was an excellent video, excellent interview. And I made several comments on the video, and I'm gonna get into a few pieces of information. And I do want to say this is fair use. Share a few pieces of information covered by it. I'm gonna be doing fair use, so copyright disclaimer, Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. And this is any information I'll be using will be pretty small, but it's under fair use. And news information, teaching, and this is pretty much pro Zaza, but there's some criticisms for her. But not that she would listen to this video. If she's seen this video, it'll probably be years from now. So this is mainly geared towards a greater community. And this is about my reaction to what I see that she's putting out as far as the public persona. In this video, and I'll put the link here in my description. So he really grilled Zaza a little bit, but he did it in a very intelligent way. Brother Rich is probably one of the better people at posing questions, very smart questions. That's probably one of his best gifts, and I do need to see more from him, but I know he works real closely with Brother Red Pill and Blue Pill, and actually, that community is vital to our liberation as a black people, because they're dealing with a particular science that black people need to be aware of. And so they're on the cutting edge of that, and so they provide, I believe, a valuable service to the greater black community in educating us in these metaphysical principles, and just providing content so that we can be aware of these type of sciences, and we can engage, we can study, we could those who notice it can deal into that. Sister Zaza Ali, she provides extremely, to me, her main service, to me, when she's at her best, is when she is breaking down, because she has a sensitivity to look at some very complicated subject matters, but she can pretty much put it and give it to you in a pretty easy way that you can really understand that concept. And that, to me, that's when she's at her best, because metaphysics is important for us to understand the energies that can't be directly perceived, but do have an effect on human development, human activity, and also our balance in nature. Okay, so this is important. So, black folks, we have been completely, utterly destroyed in this world, in this war, okay, of what is termed white supremacy. So this is a concept. This is a uh, a the white people are not supreme. My brother T West calls it whiteism, but this a lot of people know it as white supremacy, but it is just their concept that they're trying to impose on us, and they had the power to do that. And so as we build and as we fight through this, we're developing a culture, okay? And what that's doing is certain of us are focusing in on where our spirit is is led to focus in and develop on. So we need people who are focused on war, tactics and strategies on warfare. Uh, so that means military and also psychological and other levels. We need people who are civilizing types. So these people that we consider, kind of, um, they tend to stick towards the society norms. These people are a hindrance to us as we need to change from one social structure and system to another, because they will be considered coons because they're trying to keep us, they're trying to prevent us from moving to a different system in which we self-rule. But when these type of people get into self-rule, then these are the people that kind of maintain and stabilize us. And so that personality becomes valuable in that realm. But in this realm, in this situation that we're in, because we are being ruled by a system that hates us and wants to actually annihilate us, kill us, genocide us, destroy us. Okay, our rebels, our our rebel forces or our rebel personalities are what we need to highlight and energize so that we can break away from this system. So, but when we break away from this system, we have to be able to rule ourselves in a civilized manner. So the knowledge and wisdom that people like, Zaza provides, the business leaders like Boyce Watkins provides, or and Jay Morrison and all our business leaders, who these are just the YouTube content creators, but of course these people represent folks who are unnamed, who are unknown. In every city, every municipality, we have these type of people. But these are just our visible people that they kind of reflect what's already in our community. So, and then we got people like Professor Black Truth, um, even developers like Tariq Nasheed and all these type of people. They have their problems, they have their problems, and they have their values. And people like Sonetta and all those type of people, and of course the Nation of Islam and all of that. So what I'm saying here is when we when we point out what we feel is a problem with people, and it very well could be a problem. It may be a problem, and you may be correct, but we still have to understand, okay, is this person making a sincere error, and eventually they'll probably develop out of that error or problem or mistake, or are they actually intentionally trying to destroy our community? Are they bad for our independence? We need to make that determination. So when I look at what we're dealing with Zaza, I don't think we're looking at somebody who is uh, she's net positive. I think she's a net positive for our community. And these type of people, they need to be, we, as a community, we're recognizing our power. So we have power to punish, but we have to balance that power with power to develop people. You can't build and maintain society without building and maintaining people. Okay, you have to have the people. So we, many of us, look at progress when we see buildings and schools, hospitals, businesses. Uh, that is what we consider progress, but that's not progress. You have to develop people who have those visions in their mind, and then those people will build those buildings, and they will continue to maintain those buildings. They would you have to build the people first. So right now, black people, black community, our enemy is watching us intensely. They don't, but our demographics are different than we had back in 1865, and it's actually more of us. So they see that we are developing our people that will push us into another level of civilization are developing, but the people are immature. The people are immature. And so they're out here, they don't know, they're making mistakes, making errors, and they're arguing in public. And so we're going to go through a period. We're going through a period of, you know, conflicts. But when you look at what these people are, their overall trajectory, okay, as they develop, as they learn, as they get the bumps and the bruises, these folks are going to become stronger, and they will, the generations that come after them, they will be able to provide tangible lessons that will create a better uh, stability and a stronger stability. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a couple points. I'm going to go through a couple of the comments that I put on here and some of the people said, and I'm just going to voice my reactions on some of them. And this is Brother Rich here. He put that out there. I'm going to put this out here. So what I want to do, hold on a second, bear with me, everybody. People comment on this thing. That's a good so one of the person, Be Real. Be Real says, and this is one of the statements that Zaza made in the video. She's talking about how she mentors about 25 women right now for free, which don't benefit me one bit, and that's what Zaza said, whatsoever. And then the person says, wow, I would like to believe that a mentor would benefit from seeing the growth and success of the individuals she has mentored. If you can't see a benefit in that, then you are in it for all the wrong reasons. And that's just an opinion. You have to have a sustainable equilibrium. And so, and it may be a problematic statement, but you got to get some benefit. You can't be out here in this capitalist society without running your business, because you have to be out here. You got to benefit, but you have to get some return, okay, from somewhere. Now, what I'm going to say is that Zaza, she's real creative on her creative side, and she may be an adequate business person on one level, but she doesn't really have the business temperament. she doesn't. I don't think she has a temperament to go too far in her business because you can see her. She gets unstable when she feels attacked. That's her buttons, and she's too authentic. Okay, that's what I think. She doesn't. She's like. I know women like her. And I think Brother Richard, he did really good in questioning her because he obviously has experience with handling sisters with temperaments like Zaza. Because Zaza's, her button is, you can tell her buttons because she puts everything out. And you can't do that. But she did it, and so people are going to press those buttons. And so, I'll play some of it. I don't know. I'm just going to play it. I don't want to put it on. I don't want to make the video of it. Hold on a second there. I'm gonna play a little bit of this here. In the first part of this video, you can tell by her spirit she feels really attacked because these are her sensitive points and these are pain. Her voice cracks and she gets really defensive because she's trying to put on a shield, but it'll it's her button. So she's gonna, if he keeps pressing on that button, she will start to cuss, and you'll see Zaza kind of show out.
Information in this type of topic, examining the minds of my past guests, and different things that I did wrong that I've learned very valuable lessons from. But this idea that I set out to scam Black women and took their money is preposterous, especially considering that I had contracts with everybody, all of the women, all of the venues. I took a substantial financial loss.
So that's my point. A scammer to me is somebody who actually tries. They intentionally are trying to steal. And people have emails and stuff, and there may be some of that in there. They might have caught her. So she's going to defend some of that. I haven't really investigated the scam part real big. I haven't invested the scam option. But if she did a real bad job because she put her name on the line, she put her business on the line, and as soon as something went wrong, they went straight to her because she was responsible. So I don't know if people, I can't, I still don't believe that she went out there and scammed. But I'm gonna read another comment. Intentionally. Now in the middle of the thing, something may have happened, and she might have messed up with her mindset and set up there and scammed. So she has to pay for that. So the beginning of this, she gets real defensive. I think she needs to get a team together that helps her with her business. Let me see what else I put on here. So this one, Kira Me said there were so many problematic spots in this entire conversation. I don't know where to start or stop. Brother Rich had to call her out on her arrogance on numerous occasions, which leads me to believe that she learned absolutely nothing from her experience, nor has she reached a point to want to be better. She brings up colorism she experienced and yet never spoke on how she used her color to get over and get by, to include weaponizing her light-skinned white woman tears in a previous video. But what really stood out most to me in this video was the fact that while she acknowledged her mistakes, never did she show any remorse or humility. But worst of all, she didn't apologize to the people she hurt. And that's her personality. Uh, it is what it is, and I like that. She says that that's how her. I like that she can acknowledge that. That is that those problems are stuff that that individual has to deal with. Now, you see what you see, okay? Take the good, leave the bad. That's how you got to deal with this. And we, I think that's important for Black folks to understand because, if you're looking for perfection, you're never going to build nothing. You're never going to build anything. You need people. Okay, you got a person here who's willing to do work to provide information. So I'm gonna go to the parts where I think that she's doing good. The beginning of this particular video, he grills her pretty good and she's on the defensive and she doesn't really do too good in that part. But she gets through the first part. He lets up on her and she starts talking more confident in her lane. Let me see.
Us, the original people, something about ourselves, and also to expand the consciousness of this planet and our in the universe. So they're not contradictory. It's a stage of evolution that I've been through in order to master myself and also to raise the consciousness of the people who gravitate towards my teaching. You dating one dude this summer, then a little girl's giving blowjobs in middle schools and emotional and nurturing and stimulation, you know what I'm saying? They take those issues into relationships with females. There's a lot of only sexually based dichotomy in the psychology growing up and I'm gonna say light skin because people didn't know I was mixed when I was coming up because my mother was nowhere in the picture. You have this thing with women, right? That's one part of it. But with men, they either want to have sex with you.
Right. So she gets into a point where she's talking about the abuse of rejection and all that. To me, that's when she does a good job at explaining a phenomenon. And, that's just her take. This particular individual is just a real person. And she's putting out herself, so she's going to be leveled at attacks, which is valid because she's putting herself out there. But at the same time, we want to create an environment. I think it's important to create environments for Black folks we have to be able to deal with truth. In this society, we punish truth tellers, authentic people. I think too much. Sometimes they need to have that punishment. So we need to give that criticism in those things. But sometimes we completely cut people off, and that cut off, or what they call, I forgot what, a cancel culture. That's not healthy because because as soon as you will find a mistake in every human being, you're going to find bad in every human being. So what you're going to end up, you're privileging people who are good at hiding their issues. But when you're doing business, you're going to have pressure on you. You're going to have temptations on you. And then those, when you get these slimy kind of people in these right positions, you're going to, that's when they betray. That's when their crap comes out. And so that's what we get, that's kind of what I'm dealing with Zaza. Also, here's another dynamic on her. To me, most folks didn't know Zaza until she had this big controversy with the Arizona thing. I guess she had some kind of stuff, a retreat thing. But you got the enemy, CBS. You see the all-seeing eye. Look at the enemy. Now this is your enemy. You're telling me that Zaza is a scammer. Look at that. Broadcasting station, 46, the eye. This is your enemy. And all of the scams, that is a scam. McDonald's. McDonald's is a scam. It's poison right here. Human meat. They're taking advertisement. They found human meat in McDonald's. All sorts of things wrong with McDonald's. They're firing people. They're poisoning people. Gender bending chemicals in the food. All kind of stuff. Here, advertised right here on CBS. We can find so many scams associated with CBS, but this network here is coming down on a sister, a black woman, and they're using us to do that. And it's the same thing that happened with Bill Cosby. Because he did something that we criticize, we cancel culture, and then we basically throw our good people to the enemy just because we find a flaw, one simple flaw in them. It's not that bad, but you throw them to the enemy, and this enemy comes out and they kill you. Look at this. Now, with this right here, this CBS story should have made us step back. Like, okay, hold on. No. CBS, Amos Magazine. This is authentic African. Nah, bro, I can't. You get news stories from CBS helping. You're talking about authentic African magazine, and you're helping the enemy expose mulatto Zaza Ali for scamming authentic African women. This was disgusting. This means they see an opening to destroy us. And if you're understanding that we are at war, you would not participate in this. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this particular video, because we at war. Our sister, if I have an argument with my sister, now Vicky Diller, I support her. This is Vicky Diller. And Vicky, Zaza cussed Vicky out, and Vicky did a decent job in trying to mitigate her response. But yeah, I think that's it. I just don't want us to be helping the enemy destroy our own people. It doesn't make any sense. We gotta just we gotta understand that we're at war. Stop helping the white man. If you don't like somebody, isolate your criticism, but try to balance your criticism. And I think Brother Rich did a good job in showing us the bad, but also showing us the good in that video. And I think we need to learn how to focus on the good of our people, but not to, go too far in destroying our people. Okay. The girl finished her. I think she got to pay some people back. She broke, and she don't have all the money to pay them back at one time, but she's made the commitment she has to pay them back. Maybe they're suing her. That's a legal issue. You know how many people suing Bank of America? You know how many people suing the government, suing police for deaths? And come on, man. We gotta be wise in how we operate. We have to be wise. This stuff here, this is how they kill our people. They kill our potential before we even get strong. People don't even know what their potential is, but the enemy does. You got many people out here who are developing, okay? They are going to make mistakes. You know, they're going to make those mistakes. But if we see some authentic black first behavior, we see authentic black first. I mean, black America, we are mixed with white people, with Native Americans, and with Africans. That's what we are. As we are, our objective is to get control of territory. That's what we're going to eventually have to do. And hopefully it's down in the South, Georgia, Alabama. That's what we got to do. We got to control the territory. We need to own the land individually, own the land, own the government in the areas. So that means the police, run the police force, run the governor, the city councils, the schools, and we need to put our agenda in play and eventually take over those states. Okay? But that may take 50 years. But the point is, we need people that's pushing us towards that direction. And if we don't see that vision and we allow our people who are developing to be destroyed by the enemy, it takes us longer for us to get to those type of goals, and they're able to kill us more. So, I mean, that's my point. Zaza's cool to me. Uh, I mean, I'm not a woman. I'm not going to no retreat on that. But at the same time, if she puts out some information, I'm going to read it. She's a very intelligent woman. She has a lot to offer. You know, I really don't see no problem. I don't see any reason to. And if you have uh, some type of intense dislike because of her personality, just don't deal with her. Because some people have that kind of personality, but at the same time, nah, she's good. So that's it. Bottom line.